What's up, everybody? These are the 3 absolutely necessary modifications you need to make to your Ninja 400. And I say your because this is the people's motorcycle. Giveaway Ninja 400 here. Head over to edutainment.co. Get your entries locked and loaded. Brandon, what are the 3 mods we're doing today?
We are doing case covers.
Very important.
Got to protect those. Tank grips, so you can grip the tank real tight.
Squeeze.
And a nice tail tie to get that all cleaned up back there for the license plate.
Yes, so these are 3 modifications that we believe are going to help keep your bike cleaner, safer, and have you riding better as well. Let's get started installing them. The first mod for today is, of course, the Tech Spec tank grips. If you guys have been following the channel for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of these. I've put them on my personal bikes, I've put them on giveaway bikes, and there's good reason for that. When you're riding a sport bike, you want to squeeze the tank with your knees, and when you have a nice soft perch to squeeze with, this is going to make a huge difference. Best part about these, they're super easy to install, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and you just stick them on there. Very simple, and it's not going to mess up your paint at all, which is good too. The other thing that's great about them too is it's not going to mess up your jeans or your riding equipment as well. These are not going to tear up your jeans or your riding pants or anything like that. So these are awesome. We're very big fans of the Tech Spec tank grips. The next mod we're doing is, of course, the GB Racing case covers. These are really easy to install as well, and they're super ideal for the entry-level rider because if you drop your bike and you open up a case on the side, your bike's going to be out for quite some time. You're going to have to get a replacement case, oil is going to fill out of the bike, it's not going to be a good time. With these, super easy to install as well. You just pop out a couple bolts, pop them right back in. You're not going to have any oil leaking out of the bike when you do it. You do not need to drain the engine whenever you install these. Very, very simple and very effective modification. The last one is a stylistic mod, but I think every beginner rider should do it. It is, of course, the New Rage Cycles Tail Tidy. We're big fans of this system. We sell it over at yammynoob.co because we believe in it. We've put them on a bunch of motorcycles here in the shop. My Desert Sled actually has one of these installed as well. And these are awesome. They're going to clean up the look. They're super stealth. Get rid of this big tail over here on the motorcycle, and it's going to be a great mod for you as a beginner rider. Without further ado, let's show you how to install the tank grips first.
So the first thing you want to do when you're installing your beautiful new tank grips is get the area clean. You want to make sure this stays on as long as possible and just doesn't come off while you're riding. That's going to be a bad day for you. So we got some isopropyl alcohol right here. We'll get this area cleaned up real quick. All right, now before the people in the comments start lighting off, I am referencing the picture for this, so we're making sure that they're in the correct orientation for you guys. We'll go start off with the little one here. Just peel that back sticker off. Get it lined up. And push. Got a little squeegee here for me, just make sure I don't miss a spot here. There we go. Just make sure that's firm in place and don't go nowhere. Beautiful. Next is the tank. Now, this is going to have some curves into it, so you really want to make sure that this is set in before you start pressing it on. I'm going to go back to front just to make sure it's secured. Leave a little excess in the back there so it doesn't get all stuck on itself. Get it nice and lined up and push it on. Get your squeegee back out, make sure this is all nice and firm. Make sure it gets in that curve of the tank nice and pretty like. Beautiful. Make sure that's all firmly in place. Follows the curve of the tank, as you can tell right there. And beautiful. Let's go do the other side.
One more note about the tank grips, there's this little middle piece that you can put on. I kind of call it the dick grip. I really don't like these, so we're not going to use that. Now, the case covers. This is, again, a really simple install for the Ninja 400 here. Just want to make sure you got the right cases for it. You know, you can order these online, get exactly the cases you need. We're going to be working on the stator side first over here. What you have to do is you have to remove this little fairing right here. And there's a small push pin on the front of the bike. You're just going to want to use a small flathead or a mechanic's pick and just pop that out. Just like that. Just one of these little guys right there. Very simple. But they can be fiddly. These can break really easily, so make sure you don't break it when you pull it off. To get the lower fairing here off, looks like we just have 3, maybe a 4 mil Allen. Let's see if my intuition was correct. Folks, it's like I'm a professional or something. Just kidding, I'm not qualified in any way, shape, or form to work on motorcycles. Now these look to be a little smaller. Yeah, you need to get the size down. And another very important thing, you'll see this a lot on Ducatis, but Kawasaki does it too. You have this small little plastic collar. Whoop, almost dropped it. Small little plastic collar here on this bolt, that's to protect the paintwork. So if you have a bunch of bolts after you finish modifying your motorcycle, look for the ones with the plastic collars because those are gonna go on the paint so you don't scuff it up. Now we'll go ahead and pop this last one off over here to give us the amount of room we need to work with. Go ahead and remove this. Comes off the plastic piece. And that just slides right out. Be mindful of the little plastic tabs. These can also break very easily when you get this off the motorcycle. And now that's off, we have fully exposed our stator cover over here. We're just gonna make sure that the fitment is correct. And look at that, like a glove, it's covering up as you see right there. So it looks like we're gonna wanna remove 4 bolts. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Let's go ahead and do that. We have our 8mm right over here. And as soon as I took it off, it's hard to remember which ones because there are a lot of bolts, so make sure you get the bolts off that you need to get off. Now, like I mentioned at the top of the video, when you remove this, no oil is gonna come out of the bike. I'm not taking this cover off. If I were to take this cover off, oil would dump out everywhere. But because we're just removing a handful of bolts, you're not gonna see much oil, if any oil, come out of this thing at all. Because you still have a pretty strong seal and a gasket between the stator cover and the actual block of the motor. So I'm just putting this back on here to make sure that we're gonna be removing the correct bolts. So we have to remove this one up top. And it's one of those things where you can take your time and double check the bolts you're popping off because, you know, you're not gonna be wanting to remove more bolts than you need to because then you could compromise the ability for the gasket to retain the oil inside of the stator cover right here. So 3rd bolt over here. We have 1 final bolt up at the top. Fish that out. Now we are going to use all new hardware from the kit over here. So I'm gonna crack this open. I'm going to inspect that all of my bolts are going to work. These are a little bit longer because they have to obviously clear the case as well. So let's get this mounted up. We're gonna just fish them in there, tighten them by hand a little bit, and we should be good to go here. So I'm gonna wrap up installing this one on this side. I'm gonna install the other side, and we're gonna have our motorcycle nice and protected. One last point I wanted to make is when you are tightening this back onto the motorcycle, do not over tighten these bolts. You do not need to send these to like 50, 60, 70 foot-pounds of torque. I kind of just do the G&T method here. There is an exact torque setting for these, but it's not really necessary because it's so low. So just make sure they're just nice and snug, and that's gonna be plenty good enough for this one right here.
All right, we're back here at the tail section. We're gonna install this tail tidy. We're about to remove this. I've already removed the seat. We got the blinkers, we got the license plate holder. And one thing I wanna point out first that this kit comes with, it comes with this little resistor box. Now, when you switch from non-LED to LEDs, this is going to blink really, really fast. You may see some cars that have really fast blinks. It's because they're LEDs. You need this extra resistor, just make sure that slows down and get a normal blink. If it doesn't bother you, you don't need it. This also comes with the kit, so it's all perfectly fine. You don't need to go shopping around to get one. They come with these little clips, so we don't need to do any wiring or soldering. Just a little clips and it'll be done for you, all right? We're gonna get this off and we'll get started. Just gonna get all these bolts out so this comes out nice and easy for us. And this New Rage Cycles kit does come with new hardware, so we won't need this again. You can go ahead and start your collection of bolts that everyone has. Just these 4 6mm Allens here in the back. As I loosen this one, I'm gonna hold it, make sure it doesn't fall. There we go. Perfect. Get that bolt out. And we're gonna fish these wires out right here. Already disconnected them just to make it just a little bit easier for us. Nice and easy. Out the hole it comes. And there you go. Now, we're gonna move on to the lights. So this is gonna have a little bit of assembly required. It's gonna come with this bracket right here already in place. It's gonna be zip tied. You're just gonna wanna remove that first. Come over here. You're just gonna mount this guy up, just like that. And it comes with all the hardware necessary to do this, so be nice and easy. It's just a 4mm Allen. You Just line up the holes. One thing I wanted to mention for you guys, you are gonna need a 10mm wrench in there just to hold it. These are the nuts with those washers in them, so you can't really get them hand tight all the way. So you just put a little wrench on there, tighten it up with the Allen, and you'll be good to go. All right, now that we got that all tightened up right there, nice and straight, we're gonna feed these wires right here through this bracket, just like so. Get all the wires in that little groove there. Just like that. And now we get to feed these wires back through this little hole here. Go ahead and feed 2 of them in, and the last one. Go ahead and pull that up. Make sure that bracket stays in line. There we go, all the way up. Looking through, got our holes lined up. Looking good. Gonna grab one of these 4mm Allens that it comes with. Pop it through the hole. Just like that. Grab this little 10mm that it comes with. Put it right there on the bottom. Go ahead and get one of them snugged up, that way we can get the other ones pretty easily. All right, we're back at the back here. We got this all nice and secured. Putting these little wire clips in to put our resistor in here. We need to follow these very detailed instructions here, which is helpful to say the least. So we got white wire, this wire right here, going to the power of one of the turns signals. This is gonna make a little incision in the wire without stripping or anything like that to make sure that the conductivity from one wire goes to the other wire. That's all that's doing right here. Slide that in, and we'll clean all this up whenever we get it all finished up. We're gonna squeeze that little clip right there. The pliers, I have smaller forearms, so I can't do this by myself. There we go, in place. Flip this little clip over. Make sure that snaps. More plier work. There we go. And secure. Wire won't move, wire doesn't move. Beautiful. Get our handful of instructions right here, and we're gonna go this black wire to the ground of this. Same thing that we just did. Insert it until it bottoms out. You'll see that the cap right there won't let that wire come out. Not sure if you can see that right there. Make sure that wire doesn't come out. So you just bottom it out, make sure it don't go no further. Come in here, squeeze this together, and put the clip back in. Beautiful. Wire doesn't move, wire doesn't move. And we're gonna do the same thing over here with this red wire on the other blinker. Grab my other clip down here. Put red to red, right in that little groove. Put the red wire until it bottoms out. There we go. And there we go. Wire doesn't move, wire doesn't move, wire doesn't move, wire doesn't move. And again, this is just to make sure that you don't get that hyper flash. And if that doesn't bother you, you don't need to do this at all. You just chunk this if you'd like. But it bothers us, and this is y'all's bike, so we're going to make sure that we do it right for you guys. I finished plugging this in right here, make sure everything's nice and good. Got that right there. Check this out. License plate light is on, blinkers work. Awesome. Get that all nice and clean. Clean this up real quick. Put it in the groove so you still have a functioning storage on this bike. Right there, just like that. Clean up the tools, and we're good. Another great install.
All right, guys, those are 3 necessary and essential mods to your Ninja 400. Again, they are the tank grips, the tail tidy, and the case covers. We do have the Leo Vinci slip-on exhaust on this bike. We're gonna do a couple more things to it because we have some really cool content coming up later this month. Are you excited for that one?
I am.
Yeah.
Tell them what bike?
CF Moto 450 SS as a loaner bike, going to go head-to-head with this Ninja 400, street and track. What kind of lap times do you think you can do on a bone stock 400 at ECR?
215.
Okay.
250. Let's go for it.
That's respectable and also crazy considering that our Ninja 400 race bike did like a 205. Way faster. So guys, be sure to stick around for all that cool content. Remember, this is a giveaway Ninja 400. Head over to yamidu.co and get your chances locked in. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later.